family, I just want to share something with you. So if you have children, maybe you're a godparent, maybe you're involved in children's ministry, I want to share with you something that was recently revealed to me. You know, the Bible tells us that we should train our children in the way that they should go. Similarly, we also hear the Bible tells us when the disciples asked Jesus, how will we know when you're on your way? And the first thing Jesus says to them is, do not be deceived. And my concern and what I believe the Lord has revealed to me is we are being deceived. The same tactics that the enemy used that we read in scripture are the same tactics that he's using today, but he's not physically killing our young children, but he's preventing them. He's killing them spiritually. Let me explain a little bit further. When we think about the formative years of children, according to research, their formative years that their brain is really absorbing and taking in information is between the ages, on average, between the ages of 0 and 5. But if we were to look within many of our modern day churches, when we see these young kids come in with their parents, their godparents, their grandparents, and loved ones, we often see them coming in, they sit down, they put on their headphones, and they start to play games. So during one of the most pivotal times of their year, where scripture tells us we train them in the way that they should go, instead of learning and absorbing, whether they fully understand it or not. If you've grown up in church, you know there were seeds planted. You didn't fully know what was happening then, but over time you get it, right? And so here these children during their formative years, they come in church, they have their headphones on. So they're not getting fed the word. If there's Sunday school, that would be great. Send them to Sunday school, because again, their brains are major absorption portals, if you will. All right. So then they leave church. And when they leave church, many of them, they take their headphones off. And now what are they engaged in? All the information they're getting is what? Worldly information. They're absorbing the world's information. And you know, some people say, you know what, my child won't sit still in church. But they will. They just have to be taught. They have to be trained in the way that they should go. Because you think about it, when they play t-ball, the coach doesn't allow them to put headphones on. When she's at dance practice, she doesn't have on headphones. She's sitting there waiting and listening. And so when they're in school, they don't have headphones. So it's taking the time to train them in the way that they should go. Listen, I don't want us to be ignorant of the enemy's devices. And this is something that really, I believe, has such a burden on the Lord's heart. And he's brought it to my attention. As a matter of fact, I think I'll even do a live or something like that so that I can give more biblical context. But I think I've given you enough to think about. When you go to your churches this Sunday, I want you to look around and see what the young kids, if they're not in Sunday school, what are they doing? They have their headphones on and they're playing secular games, only to leave the house of worship, take those headphones off, and then be exposed to additional secular knowledge. We cannot be ignorant of the enemy's devices. We must choose. We must relentlessly pursue to train them in the way that they should go. Let's think on these things.